In the past 5 years, I have tested approximately 150 prescription and non-prescription medications specifically with the objective of killing all Demodex mites externally on my skin and inside my body. The picture to the right was taken a few years ago and represents about two-thirds of the medications I have tested at this point. Medications were tested separately and together at various intervals and quantities for days to weeks at a time. I have not found any indication that anyone has ever conducted this type of test. Note, any text in the video highlighted in blue represents an internet link, and I will have the transcript of this video available on my internet site. In this video, and on my internet site www.demodexmites.com, I explain the results of these tests. I will start by saying these results are in complete opposition to what I was told by the professor of dermatology I visited and everything I read online during these 5 years of research about the effects of Demodex mites in humans. Although I tested medications externally for 1 year before I decided it would be necessary to start testing medications internally, a turning point in my study occurred during my first test of internal medications. The first test of internal medications included 2 over-the-counter supplements readily available online. 1, pyrethrum, which in chrysanthemum buds is one of the strongest organic insecticides available in nature, especially known to kill mites. The primary prescription medication to kill Demodex mites externally on humans is 5% permethrin. Pyrethroids are synthetic insecticides based on natural pyrethrum, pyrethrins. One common example is permethrin. Pyrethrum Wikipedia. There is no prescription version of permethrin available to treat Demodex mites internally in humans. Pyrethrum can be taken internally by using chrysanthemum flowers to make tea. I have not found any case where pyrethrum has been tested internally specifically to harm Demodex mites. 2. Thujone is a toxin agent in Sage officinalis, and I found that externally sage oil at 100% concentration can kill Demodex mites in 7 minutes, which is the same amount of time it takes tea tree oil to kill mites at 50% concentration. Effective essential oils on the survival rate of Demodex spp. At full strength, tea tree oil can cause dryness, blisters, and rashes. Tea tree oil WebMD. Sage oil at 100% smells like cologne and is much milder than tea tree oil at any concentration. I found that Sage officinalis is available to be taken internally in capsules in an extract at 10 times the concentration, which allows a standard dosage of about 6 grams per day. When I started taking these 2 very strong insecticides together internally, I found proof of what Demodex mites are really doing to me. I started breaking out in rashes and boils in similar ways and locations as I did when I took ivermectin some time later. These boils were especially bad behind the knees, under the arms, and around the collar area at the intersection of the neck and chest. They were all over the body, literally between the toes, around the ears, everywhere. Yet they were not just at random locations. They were symmetrical on my body from side to side in location, but varied in magnitude. I primarily sleep on my right side, and they were worse on the left side. I felt all the symptoms of my psoriatic arthritis increase. I felt increased itching, muscle cramps and soreness, numbness, and soon stomach pain increased to the point I would not be able to continue the treatment. The symptoms were much worse than the symptoms of ivermectin, even when I took ivermectin at increased dosage quantities, but still only about once per week. But I was taking pyrethrum and Thujone multiple times per day, every day to begin with, until the symptoms became too strong, especially stomach pain. I tried Pepto-Bismol. That did not help. After trying a few other things for my stomach, I finally realized that citric acid would reduce the stomach pain. This allowed me to conduct the testing a few more times. Each time, I tried to resume the combination of these 2 treatments. The longer I took them, the stronger the reactions would become. I concluded I would have to try some other insecticides with hope of finding ones that might harm Demodex mites without such strong reactions. I found many other insecticides that would start off being effective at small doses, but the more I used them, the stronger the reactions would become. It would be almost 1 year later, after testing many other insecticides, that I realized that Demodex mites seemed to be able to detect the insecticide/poisons in the supplements. Demodex mites were able to detect the insecticides in sebum oil before they ate enough to harm them and react to it in a way that caused serious symptoms. While insects don't have tongues the way humans do, when they ingest a solid or liquid, they are able to sense its chemical makeup. This ability to sense chemicals is what makes up an insect's sense of smell. How insects taste their food, thoughtco.com. At this point, I realized I would not be able to harm Demodex mites effectively with insecticides/poisons. I would either have to use substances that stuck to them externally and slowed them down, or clogs them up internally, like calcium, or something that would harm them externally, like acids that would dissolve their outer wax coating, causing them to dehydrate and die. You can give Demodex mites the strongest poisons in the world, like carbamate insecticides and chemotherapy. They will not consume it. Evaluation of carbamate insecticides as chemotherapeutic agents for cancer. These poisons will likely not kill them when applied to them externally because they are covered with sebum oil, which will dilute it. Besides, they are continually developing mutation resistance against it. I knew that hydrocarbons were very harmful to them for some time, but I only found you recently. Most pharmaceuticals come from petrochemicals. Facts and ideas from anywhere. I also found that most over-the-counter medications also contain petroleum in some form, generally hidden in actives listed in the inactive ingredients. Petrochemicals will still not kill them completely, and the stronger the medication is that does not kill them, the more likely they are to react in a violent way that will result in chronic disease. I have found citric acid to be the most effective supplement against Demodex mites to date. It may not be the harm it causes to them that decreases their activity, but it seems to be the one treatment that causes the most reaction. Some tests on myself and a few others indicate that even just taking 3 lifesavers per day 4 or more hours apart reduce chronic disease symptoms. I have consumed as much as 10 grams of citric acid in a single dose and 5 grams every 6 hours 4 times in a day without harming them significantly. The most effective reduction in their activity that I have achieved currently, taking 1 gram citric acid per hour for 8 to 10 hours at a time. This amount could cause severe reactions for someone that has not spent months building up a tolerance for a very high dosage of citric acid, whether in capsules or orange juice. Besides the information I presented about the many various reactions I experienced by consuming pyrethrum and thujone together, which can be proven by anyone that doubts what I have said, I also have found many reasons to believe Demodex mites may be connected to all disease by the fact that all medications contain something that harms them. Present the following hypothesis. Demodex disease hypothesis. Most or all medications that are effective against any disease in humans, medications that reduce pain in humans, substances that humans become addicted to, and substances that humans are allergic to, contain at least one specific substance, insecticide/poison, acid/sulfur, hydrocarbons/petroleum-based pharmaceuticals, chloride/chlorine/salt, physical obstructions, zinc, calcium, dimethicone, PEG 3350, etc. That is obviously harmful to Demodex mites. The only exception are the new medications that cause the immune system to ignore the activity of Demodex mites without reducing the population as long as you continue to take them. I present many instances on my internet site of specific examples, like the fact that ragweed, which accounts for as much as 50% of all allergies, contain pyrethrum. Women with breast cancer have been found to have more Demodex mites than women without breast cancer, and one study has shown that chrysanthemum buds has reduced breast cancer. Many well-known plant insecticides like curcumin and turmeric have been shown to reduce cancer. Fluorine that is used to reduce cavities was originally patented as an insecticide to kill roaches. When there was a big disagreement between doctors about using ivermectin to reduce COVID symptoms, everyone ignored the fact that ivermectin is the primary internal treatment of Demodex mites. In the article Demodex folliculorum, parasite infection mimicking skin cancer, the doctor stated, Demodex folliculorum is a parasite which lives on human skin around the hair follicles. We have found that it can cause lesions which can be mistaken for skin cancer. It has also been linked to rosacea, perioral dermatitis, blepharitis, and pityriasis folliculorum, which may be due to the bacterium Bacillus oleronius found in the mites. 1. Too recently, 4 of our patients had suspected basal cell carcinomas surgically excised, which were found histologically to be infected with the mite, with no underlying of skin cancer. Strong treatments have significantly reduced the activity and or population of Demodex mites. This resulted in a reduction of all symptoms of my incurable psoriatic arthritis by 90% to 95%. Symptoms reduce. All itching, rosacea, folliculitis, infections, toe and fingernails, itching and redness in the eyes, neck pain, degenerative disc disease, muscle soreness, muscle cramps, and numbness, anesthesia, fatigue, pressure sore on back, swelling everywhere on my body, etc. Was the professor of dermatology really correct when she told me Demodex mites are a natural part of our flora and fauna, and they may even be helpful? Video by Paul Hartley, BS, MSME. Engineer, www.demodexmites.com. Email, paul@demodexmites.com.